Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just driving around right now. But how's everybody doing today? Just wanted to share this revelation I had. Pretty profound. At least I thought so. Hopefully, I could release a couple of people that may be going through something right now. And anybody that knows me personally knows that this beginning of this year, well, pretty much how this year has gone so far, is not exactly how I intended it to go. Not exactly how I would have liked it to have gone, but I would say a real emotional year for me so far this year. And something that I was thinking about when I first started going through all this, like where I would say like where it was at its worst, I kept like crying out to God, like, you know, like, God, like, what's going on? Like, I really need you to perform. I need you to perform a miracle in me. I need you to use me to perform a miracle. You know what I mean? And in a weird way, I guess, like, I felt like as if God, not so much that he took his hand off my life. Well, yeah, I'll be honest. I felt like in a weird way that God has, you know, forsaken me and everything like that, that God took his hand off of my life. And sometimes we forget, well, I'm gonna just speak for myself. Sometimes, like, you know, when I'm going through the storm, I tend to forget and look at the circumstances and forget that he is still good at the end of the day. But not even that. Sometimes when God uses us or wants to perform a miracle in our life, he needs to put us in a situation or circumstance that a miracle is called for. Regardless of our level of drasticity, if that's a word. I just invented a word. If I didn't already, I don't know. But sometimes it's called for a certain type of situation or a certain type of circumstance where a miracle is needed. And I'm just sitting there thinking about how many times, like, as believers or just people in general, that, you know, we ask God to perform a miracle in our lives, but yet we're, you know, dissatisfied and upset and feel a bit like disowned by him when our life is put through some type of circumstance that a miracle is called for, you know, a storm in a sense. And, you know, it kind of makes me think like, dag, like, how was I missing this my whole life? You know what I mean? How did I miss out on that my whole life? And I'm pretty sure my pastor is like preached on this. He'll let me know after he sees this. But yeah, he definitely will let me know. But I just sit here and I think about it, like, how many times have I done that? You know, how many times have something to think about? How many times have you done that? You know, we're called to, you know, go through combative, you know, action in a sense as believers. You know, our life is, you know, we are supposed to be at war with the opposition, which is Satan, the enemy, even though he was already defeated. But yes, we are at war. And, you know, we ask for the whole armor. We're supposed to put on the whole armor of God, and we're supposed to, you know, we desire to have the sword, the shield. People that go to war, they desire to have the gun, but I don't know. I mean, like, for real, how many times have we asked to be equipped with something, but then when it's time to, you know, put it into action, and you know, keep that same energy for that circumstance, that we are like, God, what the hell, man? You know what I mean? Like, and it's just something I've thought about. It's just, you know, it's silly me for thinking that, but beginning of this year for me emotionally was probably the hardest things I've ever had to go through. It was a point where I wouldn't say like I had suicidal thoughts necessarily, just a lack of motivation, lack of drive, a lack of just fighting, really. So I guess you can, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird line to discuss, but something that I definitely like thought to myself, like, you know, God, you know, I need you to perform a miracle in my life. And, you know, I realized that for a sword to, you know, get its shape, to get its sharpness, it needs to go through the fire, man. It needs to go through the fire. Something needs to come out of that fire for the sword to be, as sharp as it is, be designed and to, become useful for what it was built for. You know what I mean? That's what the fire is intended for. And, earlier this year, I was thinking to myself, like, God, what is going on? Like, I thought you loved me. Like, why are you putting me through this? Why am I going through this? Why me? You know what I mean? And I realized that, he already did it. He already came through. He did it before. He's going to do it again. But he already, came through and planned everything out. But I guess for me, I wanted the fast forward button because I was like, I need this to end. It's too much. And sorry, I was just vibing to this Caleb Mitchell song. Anyway, but I guess for me, and I don't know anybody else feels this way, we ask for God to use us, but then before we get used, or hell, maybe even in the midst of being used, we have to go through hell. And a testimony comes out of pretty much everything that we go through at the end of the day, whether it's a good thing, but he's always good. So if we have to go through a bad time for a testimony to come out of it that we made it through, that is us being used. We're supposed to proclaim how good he is, and he is good regardless of what we look at with our earthly eyes. And on a horizontal level, we look at things like, well, how can he be good and I'm going through this? How is this going to make me a better soldier? And it just, don't fear the storm, I guess. I mean, it's hard. It's easier said than done, but do not fear the storm. Do not fear the fire that's going to mold you and shape you into this weapon for God. And that's just something I've thought about. I don't know if anybody got anything out of that. Hopefully somebody got released from me sharing that today. Yep, that's it. I'm not gonna add anything else. God tells me to shut up. It's time to shut up. But I need to share praise report. In 3 more days, I will be 7 years sober. It's 3 more days. 3 more days and 7 years of sobriety, man. It's that in itself. I look at everything I had to go through this year. It's but I'm still gonna be 7 years sober, and then I'm gonna pray. I'm already celebrating for the 7 more years, and then the 7 more years after that, the 7 more years after that. So it is what it is. I mean, if I want God to use me, if I want to be used, then I gotta get a couple of licks, man. I gotta take a couple of licks. I gotta get a couple of bumps and bruises, and then let them know, who my daddy is. All right, then. Okay, then. The victory is ours. We just, sometimes in the storm and the circumstances, we lose. It's hard to, recognize that. But I hope everybody has a great day. I could really use some words of encouragement. If you have me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, please reach out to me. The fight's not over, man. It's a day-to-day battle, man. There's temptations every day. There's things that want to urge me to give into what Satan tried to destroy me with. But I can't have that, man. He won't let me have that, man. The body is gone. The body is buried and separated. That's very much it. The old me is gone, and I can't even look at that guy anymore. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Only good vibes from my tribe. Stay blessed. God bless you.